Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Esther and I'm glad to have you all. As I promised last time, today my first guest for our career segments is my dad. Dad, high five.
Hi.
I'll let him introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his career journey. So welcome, Dad.
Thank you, Esther. My name is Agri Songore Ifedha, and I'm an accountant and an auditor. So in terms of my career, I started my career in the civil service as an auditor, specifically cooperative auditor.
Okay.
Immediately after college, I had done Bachelor of Commerce, BCom, at the University of Nairobi. We graduated with a upper second class honors in Bachelor of Commerce. That was in 1989.
Okay.
So straight away we were posted to various places, because then employers used to actually come over the university the final semester to try to get the potential employees from the university. Yes. So I ended up being in the cooperative audit, and I was posted to the then the Western Province as a cooperative auditor in charge of the three then districts of Kakamega, Busia, and Bungoma. So I was in charge of supervising the auditors in those three districts, and also at the headquarters we had some auditors there. So my work essentially involved preparing audit plans and ensuring that they were followed, and then also doing some of the audits myself, especially the big cooperatives. By then we had cooperatives like Kateku, Kakamega Teachers Cooperative Union, and also in the agriculture we had cooperatives like Malaba Malakisi Cooperative. So the big ones I would also go in and assist and do the actual auditing, apart from supervising the audit work at the province. Yes.
So now you've finished Kakamega. After that, where did you get your next job?
Okay, my next job was with the UNICEF Kenya country office as a finance officer. I was in charge of projects. We had projects all over the country, especially dealing with the communities in terms of water and sanitation, in terms of education, health, and so on and so forth, livelihoods. So mine was essentially dealing with the project finances. Okay. So I would do the budget plans. I would ensure that they had the funding, and then I would also ensure that the funds, the management of the funds within the projects was being efficiently utilized. Okay. So I would also go out into the field to do project audits of the finances, and it made me appreciate the level of diversity in our communities all over the country. So that was my second job. That was between 1993 and 1995.
Okay.
Yes.
Hapo sasa ndo nilikuwa nazaliwa.
Yes. I remember in one of our parties at the UN. You are very active, dancing all over the place.
When I visited Uncle Juicy, he told me, umewacha kudance dance. Then I remembered that when Dad was working at UNICEF, one of the things he remembers is I was 2 years old and they had a team party. And I danced and danced that everyone recognized me and everyone will remembered him through me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are quite active.
So after UNICEF, what happened?
UNICEF, I worked there 93 to 95. Unfortunately, it was a contract. So we had a 3-year contract. Actually, they were annual contracts, but renewable. So, and since they were project-based, the final one was in 1995. So actually, my contract ended, and then 95, that was in May, because it ended in April. Between May and around December. Yeah, about 4-5 months. I was jobless. So it was a little bit hard, but we managed. Yeah, so I started, I tarmacked a bit.
Hustle.
Especially having gone through straight from college into employment. Yeah, it was a bit difficult. But with an understanding family and friends, we managed to go through. I was doing a few things, especially doing some accounting and bookkeeping for some friends.
So freelancing.
Yeah, sort of freelancing. Yeah, at least just to make sure that to make ends meet. Yeah. So in November 1995, I got, that was through one of the friends that I had been helping. He was called Mr. Kingori. So he had an audit firm, an accounting audit firm. So I had helped him with the, bookkeeping and some audits for his clients. So through his networks, I got some placement job at Ron Poleng, who are one of his clients. So he informed me they were looking for a cost accountant, and if I could maybe apply. So I did that, and I was taken. And so I joined Ron Poleng. Ron Poleng is now, I think, defunct. It's no longer there. But it was it was a French company dealing with agrochemicals, even health, medical, and whatever drugs, and even chemicals for production of things like paint, chemical industry reagents. So we had actually a plant, and it was quite one of the biggest packaging. So we used to import and package even for other drug manufacturing companies like SmithKline, Beecham. We used to do for them, like Glaxco. We used to do for them, Welcome. So I worked there as a cost accountant 1995 November to 98 to 98 October. Yeah, so that was my effectively third
Yes, your third job.
Yes.
Your third paying job.
Third paying job,
Yes.
Actually, if we go that way, because I remember I've also taught after A levels. We all taught. Most of us taught, and I taught in 2 schools. In Vihiga, I taught at what was then called Maragoli High School, which was a private school run by the then Member of Parliament for Vihiga, Bahati Semo. Excuse me. Then I also taught at a school called Givole Secondary School. Yeah, so I remember even some of our students, because then 844 was just starting. So I was even involved in the selection of Form 1s on the first 844. So apart from that, yeah, we can also consider those as
Sasa umekuwa mwalimu,
yeah.
umekuwa auditor, finance officer.
Yeah.
So now it's 1998.
1998. Yeah.
What are you doing at that time?
Yeah. So then I got a chance. I felt like progressing at least in my career. So I applied for a job at Cadbury. So and I was taken. I was then now the financial accountant at Cadbury. So the difference between the financial accounting and what I had done at Ronpolenk, which was cost accounting. Cost accounting is part of what we would call management accounting. You do the accounting for mostly for internal reporting for the management and the board. But financial accounting deals more with the external reporting for purposes of external stakeholders.
Maybe
like,
for fundraising. Or
not necessarily. Like that is now a company, so it is mostly like for because you are supposed to do to prepare financial returns. For example, for KRA. Yeah. So I was now involved in financial accounting, preparing final accounts for audit purposes. And this involved mostly supervising the account assistants who are mostly dealing with what you'd call in accounting receivables. Receivables are people who owe you money. And creditors, people you owe money. And then banking, and cash assets, all that. Then preparing the monthly returns, and then a final annual returns. Yeah, so there I was reporting to the chief accountant. While at Ronpolenk, I had been reporting to the management accountant. So
this was a promotion for you in terms of your career?
In terms of my career, yes, yes, yeah. So at Cadbury, that was up to 1990. I didn't stay in Cadbury for very long. 1998, 99. 1998, 99.
Na I remember Cadbury, tulikula chocolates.
Yes.
Fudge. Dad would bring for us fudge. they won the mint, so hizo tulikula sana. I don't know what happened to Fudge, but Cadbury should bring back those snacks.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were very nice.
Yes.
What happened is we used to have what they would call in a month they used to set aside one Friday for staff to do purchasing at a
Lower price.
Lower price. So we would purchase things, and the good thing is that you didn't need to do it on cash. You would do it, and then it is deducted from the
Your
payroll.
pay.
Yeah. So all of that, the goody, the original goody, the eclairs. Yeah, the original cocoa.
Yes, yes, cocoa.
And all that.
Yes.
And not forgetting the chocolate.
The chocolate itself.
The real chocolate.
Yes, you made mom. My mom loves chocolate so much, and I think it's because of that time when you're working at Cadbury, you would bring us a lot of chocolates.
Yeah, it was nice. It was very nice.
Yeah. So after there,
that was so from there now I moved to the NGO world. I moved to an organization called ITDG, Intermediate Technology Development Group.
okay.
Nowadays it's called Practical Action. Yeah, it was. It is one of the places I really also enjoyed working. Now I was doing. I was what you'd call project and programs accountant.
Okay.
So also there, following up like on what I had been doing at UNICEF, I was mostly involved in projects.
Okay.
So doing all the financial management of the projects, making sure that they have the finances, making sure that even the resourcing, sourcing of their finances when they are doing proposals to get projects to work with donors. So I had to do what you'd call the financial proposal, as the technical people do the technical proposals. Then we set So they had big projects all over the country, actually in the whole of East Africa. And it's the time I actually had a chance to also visit outside. So because it was ITDG East Africa, we had a chance to go all over East Africa, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Somalia. Yeah, so that is now the time I also did a lot of development in terms of career growth. Yeah. So I was at ITDG from 1999 to 2006.
So that's the farm that you worked for long?
And apart from the current
one.
Yes.
So having worked at a company for more than 5 years, did you get time to grow in terms of the levels of managerial, or did you just stick in one position?
Okay, I actually started off as a project accountant. I was dealing with projects and programs. Then, but by the time I was leaving, we actually moved for the last the final years. What we were doing was the ITDG would develop a project, grow it into a program, and if it looks sustainable, then it will be wind off and become actually in this case we wind off and became a separate program called CLIP, Community Livestock Initiative Program. So then that one I was a finance and administration manager. So that was like a career growth.
Yes.
And of course, initially I had gone there. I had gone to ITDG on a short term contract. Yes. So in all this also, it's good to say it's good to have good networks.
Yes.
And also not to burn bridges wherever you are.
That, yes.
Because most of my career growth, advancement has been because of networks and resilience, and just doing a good job,
working hard, working smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
And making sure that people, you leave a place better than you found it.
Yes.
So that is what I can just advise in terms of career growth. Because although the jobs have shrunk, the job market has shrunk. Yes. Yeah. So if you get something to do, it's good to do it and do it very well. And also, even as you grow career-wise, it's good to also try to grow at a personal level. Make sure that if the job ends today, you are able to move on, even if it's something to sustain you as you move elsewhere, or as you transition even out of actual employment. Then it's good to make a basis as early as possible.
So you mentioned something about making sure you grow yourself while you're employed. And I've been thinking about this because a lot of people tend to work so hard and they are growing the company, not themselves per se. So you tend to find when you leave a company, you're now depressed, you don't have savings. And also I remember one of my managers told us, you take care of yourself. As much as you want to work for someone, you want them to know you're the best, make sure you also look out for yourself. Because if you die today, they will replace you tomorrow. Not even tomorrow, the same day. If you're sick, you have a replacement. So as much as you're working and trying to make sure that you're growing that career, make sure your personal growth is also met.
Yes. That is very important. And it's something that I've learned throughout the period. So what I would advise also is, as in terms of growing yourself, the first thing to do is to make sure that you have some type of saving from the word go. Even if it's 5 bob, even if it's 10 bob, purpose to just save something as early as possible. In fact, the longer you take from the time you start earning anything at all, before you start saving, the more difficult it becomes for you to start saving, because then you know, as income grows, your needs so you'll find that you'll keep postponing that. I'll start saving next week. I'll start saving next
now
month.
That's one of my challenges. Yes.
So
but I'm learning, because it's also a skill that we all need to pick up. And not you need just to learn how to save.
Yeah,
And as a country right now, and as a generation, we need to know the saving culture and the investment culture.
yeah.
Yes.
That is something that it's good to emphasize.
Yes.
Okay. So that is now ITDG into clip. So now the development work bag had beaten. So I working with communities, going all over East Africa, I really felt connection with project work. So I I now moved into consulting, and in 2006, that's when I moved to Acacia Consultants Limited. Initially as finance officer.
Okay.
And as a finance officer, I was dealing with almost everything. Because this is now a company. I'd come from what you
The
call
NGO
NGO
world,
world.
yes.
Yeah. But this is a company which deals heavily with development work. What we would call now, we call impact, social impact development. So I went in as finance officer, doing everything in finance and administrative management, payrolls, procurement, cash management, asset management, creditors, debtors, everything to do with the financial management, putting in place controls, policies. So I was a finance officer at Acacia Consultants Limited for
From
just
2006
to 2007.
1 year.
1 year. Then I was promoted to finance and administration manager. In 2007. Yes. So then now I was in charge of all the financial aspects, financial and administrative aspects of the company. Yeah, quite a challenging job. And in consulting, it's quite difficult because the effort you put in is what determines if you'll get a job, because it's tendering.
Yes.
You have to tender for jobs. So we deal a lot with the consulting in terms of project work for government agencies, what we call regional economic blocks, like IGAD, the UN agencies, international NGOs, and even CBOs and the communities. And now even with the county governments. Yeah, so that is what we do now. We actually sell skills and technology. Yeah, soft technology, what it calls soft technology. So we do proposals following tender or calls for proposals and tenders. And we do that. We get we have a database of consultants in all the areas, sectors, and areas. So we work in agriculture, we work in water and sanitation, we work in drought, disaster risk management, we work in the social issues in terms of health, education, livelihoods. So we do proposals for in those sectors, and the services we offer include baseline surveys. We do feasibility studies. We do evaluations. We do technical assistance. This is where you work with a donor to undertake a project throughout. So you supply them with their technical know-how, your skills. We have all those experts whom we now sort of second to the project, and they offer the skills, transfer the skills, and also build the capacity of the project people, and also as they do the work, the actual work. Yes. So those are some of the services we offer in those various sectors. Yes.
So now, from the position you are at, did you get another promotion now to the director, or there were other in between positions that you had to go through?
When I was finance and administration manager, there was we re-strategized.
Okay.
And so in that new structure, they created a job of general manager.
Okay.
So I was promoted to general manager. General manager. By that time, of course, now even as finance and administration manager, I used to be like part-time secretary to the board of directors. But in between also, there was a chance for staff, a few staff, top management. So when I was general manager, we were offered to buy some shares in the company, which I and a few others did, and therefore became also a shareholder and then a director. So that is what I am now. I'm the director in charge of operations. Sort of, yeah. So everything to do with the sourcing for work and operations, because we work with the experts, specialists.
Okay.
So we have a database, as I told you, of experts in all the fields. And when we get a tender, we ask them if we can use their CVs. We vet the CVs for the best ones for a particular job. We put in the tender. If it is successful, we use them. We do the work. If it is a feasibility study, if it's a baseline study, if it's a monitor, an evaluation, if it's training, surveys, all that. So all that is what I do. I lead the team to do that, to respond to tenders. And then when we get also the implementation. So to make sure that the experts, the communication and the coordination with the client, and also managing the experts as they do the work. So I lead the whole team in doing that. Yes.
So at least umejua your career journey.
Yes.
Vizuri kabisa. Now I just want to know, as a father of nine 9 children, yes. In my family, I have 8 siblings, so we are 9.
Yes.
And my dad, as I said, has been a very hardworking person, and that's why I look up to him for when it comes to career advice and my career growth. So I would like to know, how have you managed to be a father and now a director? Because in many times you find, except for nowadays because you work from home, growing up you used to be at work a lot of the time, and we would spend time with mom, meaning you did miss some point of our growing up. So what's your advice on such things? Because nowadays you find both women and men are so engaged into work, and there's that disconnect with parenting. So what's your take on this?
Actually, it's a big challenge. But I'm happy because your mother has been very, very, very supportive and understanding, and especially like when we were apart because of work before we joined together. It was a bit difficult. I remember when I was at UNICEF, I would leave work on Friday we used to leave at around 4:30 and
Travel home.
Every Friday, come back on Mondays to be in the office. So it requires a lot of balancing. It requires a lot of understanding also of the family members. It also requires a lot of compassion all around, and time management. The little time you have it's good to just utilize it, so that I remember we really missed visiting all of you in schools, although it was quite far every time traveling to Western. Incidentally, all of you secondary school, we went to schools in Western. So it requires all that commitment, and above all also putting God first. In prayers and everything you do. Yes.
So second last question. If you are not a finance person or an accountant or an audit, what else would you have been in terms of your career?
I think the short time I was a teacher, because the time when we were at the university also, we used to be called district focus. The semester after a year, it's to be a long holiday from I think September all through up to, it used to be over 6 months before you go back to university, our time. So I also taught most of those times, and I felt
You would have
connection
been a
with
teacher.
would have been a teacher.
Lakini wewe ungekuwa mwalimu, unakaa ule mwalimu watoto anakuogopa kabisa, when they see you kwa highway wanakimbia kabisa. It's because you know people who are quiet, yes, and sura ya kazi wanaonekana kukua wale wanakupiga vitu kama hizo. But because I know you would have been the best teacher. Yes.
So if I was not an accountant, I think I would have been
a teacher.
I've also worked as in those times of district focus I've also worked as an election registration person. I remember the 1988 elections where we used to register people, even using the KANU. Actually, the KANU card, membership card was one of the requirements.
Siku za one party.
Yes, yeah. So I think in my work, just work-wise, I've traversed, I think, all sectors of career, jobs, yeah.
So also, because you've been that person who's grown up with knowing that unamaliza form 4, you go to university, get your degree, possibly do your masters, and advance in your career using your education. But you see times have changed, yes? So you find that children are now engaged more in arts. And because unajua wewe umekuwa ule, you are not pushing us, but you installed in us the thought of knowing that education is more important. So looking back, would you still advise your children to still be focused on education, or if they have a passion in dancing, in acting, in doing all these other things that might actually help them in future? Because unemployment rate in Kenya is quite high. And you can see a lot of youths are going abroad to get jobs. But at the same time, a lot of youths are being self-employed in Kenya. A lot of young people through TikTok, through YouTube, talent. Yes. So thinking back, what kind of advice would you give? Would you say that yes, education is important, but I also think that you can follow your dreams? Or are you strictly on education, or are you strictly on talents? Yes.
What I would say is that because of the changing the dynamics of life now,
yes,
it is important to recognize that getting jobs because of education, level of education, is no longer the key, the first or among everything. And because of the changes in terms of lack of jobs, of course, and also this is what you'd call formal in the old sense.
The formal,
in the old sense.
Yes.
It's shrunk. But what you'd call career and sort of pursuing of your dreams to earn a living for livelihood, it's expanding. So as much as I would encourage that the basic education, at least like like all of you at least have had post-secondary education. It's good, but also you can also have both.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, we have people who have done up to PhD. And
they are now self-employed.
Yeah, they are self-employed. They are now musicians. Yeah, Kofi Olomide, I think it's highly educated. I think the masters in economics.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but now he's
makes
his
a
bread.
living
Yeah,
from,
he's from music. So I wouldn't
box it.
Yeah, box anybody in terms of So if you have the talent and there's a passion for it, get the basic education at least, and then
work on your
talent. Go for your heart.
Okay, sawa. Sasa Daddy, tunamaliza. Tumechukua muda mrefu, but I'm glad I've known more about you, because I knew the kind of jobs you did. I did not know the details.
Yes.
I did not know the timing.
Yes.
So I'm glad to know that as well.
Thank you.
And I say thank you for being a good dad. Thank you for inspiring me and all of your children. So nataka waambie your friends to subscribe. Waambie wa subscribe channel, wakuone, because we need more subscribers as well. And we hope that all the segments that we'll be having, that something from someone's career path will touch you, that you'll be able to get an idea of what you want to do. So yes, alafu leo umedunga suti, umevaa suti, lakini ulisikia tunashoot, lakini nowadays you don't wear suits that much.
Yes, so it goes with the age, and also you know, because as you grow, as you advance in age, I'll be 60 in a few months. So you need to now relax a bit and don't be that
but is it really about the age, or ukiwa mdosi unaweza vaa pia vile unataka? You see your interns will come to work in suits, lakini wewe unaweza kuwa casual.
But it also depends on the circumstances. Like if I'm going to meet a client,
you have to be formal.
You have to be formal and dress appropriately. So thank you very much. Please subscribe to Esther's channel.
Yes.
And encourage friends and relatives to also subscribe and keep following.
Yes.
She has a lot of content, and I'm sure you'll benefit. Thank you very much, and goodbye. God bless you.
High five ya mwisho.
Thank you very much.
Daddy.